I think we are going to get started. Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming to today's big announcement. I think it's safe to say it will be a September to remember for fight fans. We have some great fights here in September, starting this weekend with Garcia versus Porter, and in a couple of weeks with Triple G and Canelo. And as they say, save the best for last, and that's exactly what we did. I think the cherry on top is the fight we're going to have here with Victor Ortiz and John Molina, an all-action brawl, toe-to-toe. That's what fight fans like to see, and that's what we are going to get here. Top to bottom, I promoted a lot of cards, including many here in Los Angeles, in Vegas, in New York, all over the country. But I have to say, when I looked at the bout sheet today, it is loaded. It is loaded with young talent. It is loaded with experienced fighters. I just want to mention some of them. We have Jose Balderas from Santa Maria with 4-0. He's going to be on the card. We have a very exciting fighter out of Wales, Cody Davis, who is with Ringstar. He's going to be on the card. Then one of the most talked about super welterweight prospects, Joey Spencer from Union City with 4-0 and 4 KOs. He is going to be on the card. Jesse Rodriguez from LA, 6-0 with 4 KOs, a light flyweight. He is going to be on the card. And then on the televised portion, it's pretty much the same. Again, you have Carlos Balderas, fantastic young prospect fighter here out of Santa Maria, undefeated, 6-0. We'll talk about him a little later. We have probably the most feared man in boxing a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure you saw Efe Ajagba when his opponent walked out on him. So Efe will be on the card here in a heavyweight fight. Then we have the Olympic silver medalist, super heavyweight, Joe the Juggernaut Joyce, Triple J on the card as well. We'll talk a little bit more about him. And then on the televised portion, again, Brandon Figueroa, and of course, Victor Ortiz and John Molina. So terrific lineup for the television audience. 120 million people around the country are getting Fox and FS1 and Fox Deportes. So it's going to be widely available. You don't have to pay. You can watch. You can watch some of the most legendary names and some of the best young fighters in the sport right there. So a really terrific card. I like to thank my co-promoter Tom Brown for supporting this card, and it's always a pleasure to work with him and with his team. Of course, I'd like to thank the man who makes it all happen, Al Heyman and PBC, another terrific card from Premier Boxing Champions. I'd like to thank the sponsors, Corona and Casa Noble, for their support. And I'd like to thank as well our host, the Citizens Bank Arena in Ontario. For those who have been there, they know it's a terrific venue, really no bad seat in the building. Tickets are on sale now. They are starting, believe it or not, at $30 for this terrific lineup. It's a Sunday afternoon card, or Sunday evening card, I should say. Prime time East Coast, 9 p.m., 6 p.m. Pacific. I love to promote those Sunday cards because it's an opportunity for families to come together and enjoy these fights. It's an opportunity to have parents bring their kids and get them their first taste and love for the sport of boxing. I'd like to introduce to you now some of the televised fighters which we have here on the card. First up, I'd like to introduce to you a young man who was the most sought after Olympian here in the United States. He has an amazing style. He's not only very good looking, but a very handsome young man. But man, can he fight. He has the speed, he has the skills. Watch his footwork. This is a man who, without any question, will become a world champion. He's the one we've been waiting for here in Los Angeles, in California, to carry the city. and I'm sure he will. It's a pleasure for me to introduce to you now, with the record of 6-0 with 5 knockouts, King Carlos Balderas.
Thank you, Richard. I'd like to thank Ringstar, I'd like to thank Al Heyman, I'd like to thank PBC, my team, La Familia Balderas, who are always behind me. Fighting in Ontario again, I'm thankful to be fighting on a televised fight again. It doesn't matter if it's a Friday, it doesn't matter if it's a Saturday or a Sunday, as long as it's televised so my people can see what's really going on. And I'm going to continue to close the year strong. 2018, I look forward to continue closing the year strong and starting off 2019 where we left off and continue moving my way up to the 130-pound division. And as of right now, I got my eyes on the belt that Ched has. Other than that, I'm going to continue taking my time and moving forward. And I'm going to do whatever Richard and Al Heyman have in front of me. But and my brother as well will be fighting that Sunday, so everybody's be on the lookout for my brother José Balderas. Una vez más quiero decirle a mi gente que estoy muy agradecido con el apoyo que me han dado en todas mis peleas. Septiembre 30 mi gente va a ver quién es el verdadero prospecto de la 130 división. It's been a little frustrating because everybody's trying to compare me to all these top-ranking Golden Boy prospects, but everybody knows that when you're an Olympian, you have to be a fighter from a high caliber, and they all know that. And time will tell who's the real deal at the 130. Thank you all. Thank you.
All right. That's very well said. The fighters we selected to join the Ringstar stable are all Olympians with a tremendous amateur background, and these are fighters which are ready to go, which are ready. You hear Carlos mentioning world titles already, and that's pretty much true for any one of our fighters. They're ready to go, they're ready to challenge for titles, they have a tremendous amateur background. Talking about tremendous amateur background, the next fight I'm going to introduce to you is going to be a heavyweight fight, and we have with Joe the Juggernaut Joyce, Triple J I call him, since he's training with Triple G up in Big Bear. We have an Olympian from Great Britain who won the silver medal. A lot of people thought he actually won the gold medal. It was a controversial decision, but he quickly makes a name for himself. His first 5 fights have all been in the UK, in London. He's selling out venues there. He's quickly becoming a star, a superstar in England. Many people are comparing him to Anthony Joshua already. And he's on his way now to conquer the US market as well. The US fan base, he realizes how important it is. If you want to be a world champion, you have to fight all over the world. You can't just fight in the UK. And the US market is still the most important market when it comes to boxing. And a heavyweight champion, particularly, a heavyweight champion is the ambassador of the sport of boxing. And Joe Joyce understands that ambassador role, and that's why he made the commitment as well to relocate here to Los Angeles, to Big Bear, more specific, and train with the great trainer Abel Sanchez. The fighter he's going to fight is hard-hitting, a very experienced Ukrainian fighter who is fighting out of Los Angeles. He has 26 wins, 3 losses, 18 knockouts, so almost 30 fights. And he is somebody who is going to come to fight. He's not going to go and run out of the ring like others. He is here to give Joe Joyce a real test, and it's a pleasure for me now to introduce to you the hard-hitting Ukrainian heavyweight Yago Kilazi.
Hi everybody, thank you for inviting me here. I'm so sorry my English is a little bit bad, but I want to say my opponent is very big, very strong, but I feel in great shape. My training camp is best. I lose last fight, but I fix every mistake, and I'm ready to go September 3rd. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Triple J, Juggernaut Joe Joyce, Olympic silver medalist from England. In only his 4th fight, he broke a 104-year-old British record. to become, in his fourth fight, the British Commonwealth champion. He is here to collect belts. He is ready to fight, if you ask him, for a heavyweight world title in his next fight. But we have to slow him down a bit. But he is the real deal, and it's a pleasure now for me to introduce to you, with a record of 5-0, 5 knockouts, most of them inside the first 2 rounds, the juggernaut himself, Olympic silver medalist, Joe Joyce.
Hello everyone, it's it's a great pleasure to be here and next to Richard, and I'd like to thank Al Heyman, who's shown interest in progressing my career and giving me a plan and a goal to get to where I want to be and get to a world title. I've settled in Big Bear, and it's like my second home, and I'm just looking forward to make my American debut here and to give the US fans, show the US fans my style, and put on a really good show and a strong performance. So yeah, just stay tuned and watch my progression in the USA.
Well, and now to the main event. I mean, they say, one of the old sayings is styles make fights. As in these two styles, talking about vicious Victor Ortiz and John Molina Jr., these two styles are made for each other. These are two fighters which know how to entertain. These are two fighters who come forward. These are two fighters who have been involved in fights of the year or fight of the year candidates over and over and over again. And that's what ultimately boxing is. Remember John Molina, every year since 2014, in fact, one of his fights was a fight of the year candidate. In 2014 against Lucas Matisse, or his fights against world champion Ruslan Provodnikov, Mikey Bay, Ivan Redkach, or most recently the sensational 4th round knockout against Ivan Redkach. So this is a fighter who loves to entertain the crowds. And I sort of like look at him as the West Coast's very own Arturo Gatti from a style point of view. And it is a pleasure for me to introduce to you a tremendous fighter and warrior with 30 wins, 24 of them by knockout. So you know the man can punch, the man can hurt. With 7 losses, it's John Molina Jr.
How's it going? Thank you for everyone that showed up. Team Ortiz for accepting this challenge. Nothing but respect. Everyone wants to see us trash talk. Everyone wants to see what a prediction. Everyone wants to see what round are we going to knock him out in, or what round is this going to happen. I'll tell you what, here's a prediction right here. September 30th is going to be a war. There are 2 guys coming to win. 2 guys do not want to go home with the L on the record. That's going to make for an exciting fight. I know Victor very well. This is a business of ours. This is what we do. It's how we feed our families, so we take it very serious. With that being said, a little bit of a funny story. Back at the Mayweather McGregor press conference, I was going over my team. I think I'm going to go to 47 one of these days. And I saw Victor walking by, and I went and I grabbed him. We go way back, I think 11, 12 years now. I grabbed him, hey, what's up, man? How's it going? I said, I'm coming to 47, I'm coming for you. But we said it jokingly. And now fast forward to September 30th, and now it's going down. So expect nothing but a great fight. I'm coming prepared. I know he's coming prepared. I know his team's coming prepared. I want to thank, TGB, Schaefer, Al Heyman, everyone for making this possible. And you better believe that I'm coming for war. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Victor Ortiz. I've known Victor since pretty much the beginning of his career. Was fortunate to promote many of his fights. really is a friend. See, my boys grow up as well. We've been together for a long time, and it's nice to see that here you are knocking on the doorsteps of success. And you know, both of you know how loaded the welterweight division is. Both of you know how important that fight is in your careers and what kind of doors it can open. With Victor Ortiz, we all know that he is the definition of must-see TV. You know when Victor fights, something is going to happen. Don't blink. That's just how he is, and that's why the fans love him. The fans love that kind of warrior and that kind of style. He has devastating power, tremendous skills, a tremendous boxer as well. He's a former welterweight world champion, so he's been already at the top of the mountain, and here he is. He wants to go back on the top of the mountain, and he knows that it has to go to John Molina. The fighters he fought reads like the who is who of the welterweight division: Andre Berto, Floyd Mayweather, Marcos Maidana, Lamont Peterson, Luis Colasso, Devin Alexander. I mean, it's amazing. And he's right there with them. He's one of the big names in the sport, one of the big names in the welterweight division. It is a pleasure for me now to introduce to you again the vicious one, Victor Ortiz, with a record of 32-6 with 25 knockouts.
Richard. How you guys doing? It's been a little while since I've been in so many lights. The only difference today was trying to get over here without making sure my son was still under the table and not following me here. Thank you guys for allowing me to once again headline. You know, it's been one heck of a career. It's been amazing, and with John, going back to John and I, we've known each other for many years. Mutual respect on this end as well. I'm not one to badmouth or down talk anybody, especially the guy who's across the ring from me, unless obviously provoked. But regardless, we're both in it to give a big tour come 30th of September, and we expect no less from Team Molina or Team Ortiz. People have tried to tell me, why do you fight so violent, so crazy? I don't know, it's just how I box. Can't really change a whole lot of that, but at the end of the day, it gives people a nice little showdown, and at the end of the day, just have fun with it, So, come September 30th, I'm here for another victory, so we can keep coming up in this game. I've been counted out many times, as I'm sure my dear friend Molina as well would look down upon. Wrong thing to do. Anyways, I want to thank my team, which is Coach Haas, Coach Fernando Cervantes, even Andres Moraza for sticking by my side, Anthony Perez as well, my son and my gal. And you know what? That's it. Otherwise we'll be here talking all day long, and it's kind of boring. But thank you, Al Heyman, Sam Watson, and my dear friend Richard Shea. Thank you guys.
What we're going to do now is something which they've done in the old days. When you go and Google some pictures of these old great fights and fighters, they have been made. You see them taking pictures and signing the fight contracts actually right there in front of the media. So we're gonna do that today. Both fighters are actually going to sign the contract to fight each other right here. It's a crosstown rivalry, and we thought it was only fitting to do that right here.
I think I ran over Victor's son at the table.
Yeah, Ben.
Here.
Here, I'm gonna pull it a little bit more.
She's actually moving it that way, so.
Let's get a chair up here.
This one's Victor's, this one's John. There was a second pen. What happened to my other pen?
I got it right here.
Oh, okay.
One right there.
Do you know where to sign?
Where's my attorney?
Athlete is right here.
Hey, coach, this is my attorney.
It's right there.
Should I sign?
Let's go get our attorney.
We announced the fight already.
Wait a minute, $5.
I will increase it to 6.
Okay.
All right, that's good. Thank you very much, guys.
Everyone's done? Yep, great. And scream.
Well done.
We're gonna do a face-off.
Now we're going to do a face-off, and then we're going to do a face-off with the heavyweights
Then
as
we'll
well,
do, yeah, we're
right?
gonna do the whole, everyone's here. and
Okay, bring all the fighters.
Yep.
They don't lose their contract, right?
I'm
Yeah,
going to take them right now.
yeah. Okay, do
Roll.
face-off.
Go. There you go.
Everybody get that? Got that?
Ready, baby.
Oh, there you go.
Ready.
Yeah.
Put your camera down, bro.
Okay, look, face out. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Right here, this is our photographer right here.
Mr. Richard.
What?
There we go, right there. Open. Boom, there we go. Nice. Right there, I see everybody.
Gotta get that smile. John, right
Look down here, gentleman in the blue shirt right here. Victor. Okay, good. Let me get the heavyweights, Iago, Mr. Joyce, and the
Thank you
Balderas
so much. I
brothers,
want you
please.
guys to wait.
We're gonna do
We're gonna do everybody
a picture with
then.
everybody.
And the Balderases as
Yeah,
well,
Miss
please. Okay.
Balderas brothers, oh, good idea, come around. Mr. Iago, wait. John, Victor, come back. Balderi. Okay. There you go. You can put
What do you want to do?
put main event in the middle.
Okay.
Or you just flip flop. There you go. Good, good.
You just do the fighters first, and then
We
go
want
to
the
Balderases. Yeah,
Balderas?
exactly. Yeah. So right
We're
here.
done, yeah.
You go, why don't you go next to Joe? And you come right here.
Here you go. That's a nice picture. Picture in the background.
It's okay, I'm gonna do the fighters first, and then I'll get into the pictures. Thank you. So now face
John,
off.
Yeah, we're gonna face off the heavyweights. Victor, you can come back. If you want to come back to your table, we can do interviews here. John, you can do interviews by your face. We'll let the heavyweights do their thing. Yep. Let's clear. Where'd that lady?
Let's get the camera guy over here.